What's going on YouTube? We're going to look at cars today. Actually, trucks. We're going to look at trucks. M2 and Auto World. We're going to get caught up on that. And then we got more green light. There's so much green light coming out that next video we're going to do green light again. But just getting caught up on some of the recent releases, some of the new decos on Auto World, and some exciting stuff from M2. M2 is starting to really piqued my interest, so we're going to look at some stuff, some goofy stuff too. I thought, some of the decals on these M2s, their licensing is kind of funny, so we'll take a look at that. But let's look at some Auto World stuff that we've seen before, and great stuff, right? They're trucks, very heavy. I love it. Let's get a little bit closer here so we can get in here in the viewing area. Ford F-150, and this is in that gray color. This is called Abyss Gray, and this is like their flat gray that's still has gloss to it, but no metallic. It's becoming a popular color with a lot of the manufacturers. We've seen this casting before, and we want to talk about it. We can see it in multiple videos on the 1/64th scale playlist. So just navigate to the home page, and you'll be able to see it on the channel. But this is one of the better colors, I think. What do we have? We have white, we have the metallic gray, red, and blue. And then there's also, on this release, there's like a regular red. But I think this actually came out really nice. I do like the color on it. I think it turned out really well. So, great casting. It's 2019. This is Premium Release 3 version A. I think the version B is the red. Let's see the packaging. Some facts. They're going to be doing a sport model next, so that's going to be all black. That's going to look really good. That's the one coming up. There's two releases that just hit the market. So we have the Hemmings series Auto World coming out. So we're going to have the Challenger, and we're going to have the regular square body. So we have like a cover car square body, so it's like a light blue. Hopefully I'll find that soon. Do the bed liner. Just a good casting, you know? Very strong casting. I used the bench vise to squeeze the wheels together so they weren't so loose on the axle. Alright, Ford. Let's see. If anybody hasn't seen the inside, let's take a look here real quick before we move on. I'll look at that Chevy. This is probably looks like the 5-liter. But you can get a twin turbo 6-cylinder too. Actually, there's 2 turbo 6s on the crew cabs like this. Good stuff, huh? All right. Let's look at this Chevy. This is a new casting, sort of. They say that, but the casting is really like, it's probably a separate tool, but it's really a modified of one they've already done. So we'll compare it. I'll get it off the shelf. I forgot to get it down, but while I'm doing that, take a look. This is the Trail Boss version. This is their custom truck, Trail Boss, the C71 off-road package. It's got its own unique grille. I'll get the black one. Take a look. So we got the LTZ truck that we've already seen before, which is that. So this is a very, very popular truck right now in real life. A lot of people are getting this style Silverado, so it's cool to have one in a scale. They did new tires and wheels. You can see the difference. Just if you need to be reminded. So smaller overall diameter, so you can get a bigger tire on there. That's what the trail package is all about. I did touch this up a little bit. There wasn't enough red on the tail lights and things like that, and I cleaned up the paint here. It was all crooked, so I straightened that out a little bit. Otherwise, not too much touch up. This one, I think, is You can put a 6.2 liter 6 or 8 cylinder in this truck, but they also have the regular V8 as an option, I think, too, on the Trail Boss. So you don't have to have the big motor. You can see the casting discrepancy right there. All the Silverado castings have it. This one does too. You can see there's a little bit of a bump there. It's probably because it's so large. Get my finger out of the way so you can see it there. It's just hidden because the paint's so thick. There's a red one of this. I saw the red one first. They had that one first, even though this is release 3. This is the version B, so A was, I guess, out first. Dropping tailgate. You can see how the tailpipes are part of the bumper. Satin black base. It's metal. Again, really heavy. Very, very heavy casting for what it is. It looks great, though. It really does. Get the focus there for you. So, just a good old Chevy. Z71 moved up to the quarter on these newer trucks, and they got Trail Boss on the back. So, Tampa works superb. I did kind of clean this up. It needs to with black paint. This was all white. This was the only thing that was painted black. This and B-pillar and stuff. But so I did clean that up with a brush, some brush work. It's a great casting, though, and I love how they embossed Chevrolet on the tailgate like the real truck. You know, these newer trucks, it's funny, they all have poppers, door poppers on the tailgate. They don't have that cable, the old school system with the rods. It's electronic solenoid, so hopefully that holds up for someone wanting to get in the bed. You don't want that sticking and freezing on you, because they can go out. The integrated step bumper. So I'd say they did a good job. It's actually cool. I like the white and black. It's a very good color scheme on a pickup truck. So you should be able to find it. If we didn't look at the cover art, one of 11,104. There's some information there. You know, basically the Z71, it's always been an off-road where it gave kind of some skid plates and differential gearing, and you'd have, you know, better tire shocks, things like that. Nothing too crazy. But it was, you know, the appearance of the truck too. The appearance package also was part of it. So, pretty cool. Again, the red one, I was trying to say, I'm not impressed with the paint job. They seem to do candy reds pretty poorly. They don't really, I don't think they really primer the base of these cars. You know, they just kind of shoot color over it. They might prep the metal, but you know, you get a lot of ghosting on the thinner stuff. So that red, you could see most of all the casting ghosting lines on all the division lines. So just I couldn't do it. The red was so bad for me anyway. I didn't like the way it looked. But the white was one I was waiting for, and I'm glad I didn't have to. I was almost going to get online because it was taking so long to see them on the pegs, but I did see them. They finally came around. You just got to be patient. And you got to go often, unfortunately. There's no replacement for hitting the pegs, at least, well, as much as you can do, you know, without you going crazy, because you don't, your life doesn't want to be in a, you know, store. All right, so we're going to look at M2, and these are cool. These are ones that are a little bit easier to find. Well, we'll start with an easier one. This one's kind of pegged all the time. Let's look at the package, and I customized it slightly. So this is one of their kits. These are like less than $9. That comes with the metal stand and extra wheels and tires. It has extra axles and things like that. They always give you a screwdriver. Competition cans. It's their older logo where they said competition. Now it's not comp cams now. Which their newer logo is that one. So they're using a van. This is the 65, yeah. 1965, I put the actual stock ride height on, but it comes with the lower chassis. So I'll do the swap for you real quick. I put it on this one. I think it looks better like that. I think I'm going to leave the chassis on this one, but we'll flip it in a second. That's way you all there watching in YouTube land can see how the swap goes if you never really play with these M2s. They're a lot of fun. You can just have a screwdriver and This one did need some filing. There was a lot of flash around here, so I took my metal file and filed that down. But for the most part, just a screwdriver. Didn't really have to do any heavy-duty lifting. To get the base to swap, though, on this one, they have a tab here, so I had to open that slot up on this truck just because it was made for this raised base. But you can see, very versatile. So that's our stock ride height base. This is the one from our camper van. And this is the one that came on the comp cam, so we'll swap it real fast. Let's take the supplied screwdriver. They're kind of nice, even though it's soft metal. They make these screwdrivers out of pretty soft metal, so they'll get beat up. But a fresh one usually takes these heads of screws without marring them. You can see it leaves a pretty clean edge. When you do it a lot, you got to be careful with the torque on that. You don't have to go crazy. And I always learned, if it's giving you a problem in there, just kind of screw it down and back and in and out, in and out. Just keep screwing it in till it lands. Or cutting the threads basically with your screw instead of having to cut it with an actual tap. So here's our raised one. We'll flip that back. We'll see what this comp cams ones look like. It's kind of gnarly looking. They come with 2 sets of wheels. Both of them are torque wheels. Basically torque thrust wheels. I thought the comp cams looked pretty good with the factory wheels, just because it matched, but you can see it just pulls right out. It's a lot of fun. Only one screw on these vans. So there's our ride height on this. And I actually had to bend this. It was kind of sitting on its ass a little bit, so we had to kind of fix that. But now I think it's pretty straight. We'll see how it translates back. So I could probably find, they have these vans that kind of no one really buys them a lot. And we don't even really have to screw it in right now. You could see. So it looks pretty good. And there we go. 1965 van. They didn't have 8 cylinders in these vans yet, although people would put them in for racing and stuff. 6-cylinder, really. Inline 6. Most of them really had standard transmissions, but they did do automatics later on. And then this van, which everybody was getting bigger, went to this van. Of course, this is my custom van, but that's how they looked. So Ford knew they needed something larger on the horizon. But that's what they made do with until they figured out they can do it. I thought this was pretty cool looking, and it comes with a lift. And we'll get it here. Usually they just bolt the body down without the wheels and tires on. Here's your standard M2 lift. Everybody knows about these. And you can take the lift off the base if you want. And you can use it for diorama stuff. So these are kind of handy because you can put, if you stack these, you can put a car under and then one on top and just keep going up the chain. They do stack. Here's one from just a regular M2 Machines release. You can just do this with it. And just go up the chain. Just have more and more. So we're going to look at another exciting. This is a vehicle that is very heavily sought after, and unfortunately is definitely poached on the open market. If people see this, they buy it regardless if they need it or not, because they do like it. So here's a stock van again. I think I looked at this van a long time ago in the videos, and there's our competition cams, our comp cams van. I really like the striping on it. I think it looks great. And yeah, so I'll probably have fun putting the bases on back and forth and stuff, so forth and things like that. All right, so got our comp cams model kit there. So-called model kit, really not doing too much. Just putting wheels and tires on it. Let's look at this 1976 GMC Sierra Grande 15 with the Desert Fox graphics, and this is the lowrider one with the gray scale gradient. Desert Fox graphics is fantastic. They're going to make the 4-wheel drive, and also they have a lowered one out already. That's not a model kit. That's the tan with the orange gradient graphics, which I have to find next. That's a very highly sought after. 2 sets of wheels in this, and we'll look at that. Just an awesome truck. I don't have to really, since they're very prolific, they make a lot of the M2 square body trucks. I'm trying to be a little bit more choosy with them. Our World makes such a small amount of them that I can typically get most of the Auto World releases, but this is fantastic. I really love this graphics. It almost, and I don't know if Desert Fox came with the black and gray. I don't know if it was just the orange or the reds, but this is awesome. I love it. So, we'll get it off the lift. I have not screwed it down. What's actually cool about these lifts is kind of fits in the holes in the chassis. So you have these recessed holes, and they just go over those posts, and it's pretty cool. So a little bit of ingenuity, and also having the licensed GMC stand, that's a must for any truck collector like me. I love the pickups, and having the GMC, not a Chevrolet one, but actual GMC 4-post lift. I love it. So I think that was, I mean, I got a lot for your money, and seeing this on the pegs was awesome, and hope I find another one. But so this one's got basically like the newer motor in it, the newer Chevy motor. This looks like a blown LT4 motor, LT1 motor. The newer LT series, like in the Corvette, the C7. Really small, and since their trucks are lowered, their fenders and stuff are really squared off in there and kind of flat and shallow. So not as good to look at under there as like an Auto World truck would be. And you can't say anything about Greenlight because their hoods don't open at all. Mini tubbed in the back. You can see you're almost all tubbed, I guess. I mean, that's really wide wherever. And you get to choose. If we want to remind ourselves, we can look at the package in a second. So these are our optional wheels and tires. They're black, but I figured the chrome really set that off correctly. So these blacks will probably go on another project. I don't really need to keep this all one thing. I do like that these little things in here are removable. They're little pieces of cardboard with the GMC and all that on there. So these are cool. I could probably put them up on the diorama as signs. So I thought that was great. And there's a 6,000 production on this, so a lot of people like M2 for that reason. I mean, it's just they make less of them. They make a lot, but they make a lot less of each color and all that. So this is a really cool one. These were out probably last month to this month on the pegs. You can get them online. So just do a Google search. We'll have all the names of all the cars, just like always, in the description. Just look below on the video, and you'll be able to just kind of pop that into your search bar, and you can see everybody selling it. That's the easiest way. Really nice grill. This is a 76, so it'll have that wide GMC bars. GMC graphics a little too small, unfortunately. They didn't really tool up a grill that was a GMC by itself, so they kind of put a bow tie on that area, or the Tampo GMC. They really won't make the actual two different that I've seen so far. But the wheels are nice, I must say. Relatively straight, especially since you're able to put them on yourself. I put my spacers in. If you do this stock from the package, the wheels are way too far in. They're already kind of in already, but it is kind of a pro street setup the way it's sitting with the big tires, so you kind of can tuck them in a little bit. This is really like a vehicle that's on bags. So M2 does, I think they cornered the full custom style of 164 square body. I'd lean it towards them. If you want to do a real custom truck, probably put some crazy wheels and tires on it, or have something that's more custom than stock. M2 probably your way to go. Proportions are great. It's just not as, you know, completely detailed like it is on a Greenlight. Like here's a Greenlight for stock version, and that's pretty good. And then of course, you know, we have our Auto World that we've looked at before. I guess I can get the recent one. So I just think for stock, I mean complete stock, that's your gold standard. But I'd say for custom, this is awesome. I mean, and I think they have one leg up on the fact that they, you know, the grill has more depth to it than auto weld grills do. It's just a little bit of a thinner casting. So they all have their plus and minuses, but for graphics and for I mean, they just make so many different graphics on these. M2 is pretty cool. Can't go wrong. Now, what are we gonna look at next? Well, let's see. Did we run out? Yeah. So we're gonna look at green light. I got a lot of green light, and they'll be coming soon. I just gotta organize them and get some notes made up on them. Fill in some holes in the old memory of what I want to talk about. But I'd say this is pretty cool. Got a little M2 stuff out of the way. And I hope you enjoyed it. We got some trucks to look at. So we got more to come, a lot of new castings. Let's do, in the interim, well, you know what? We got some more vehicles. Hold on a second. I just forgot about these two. Let's look at them. We got the two kits. Now we got these ones I found exclusives. Forgot about these two. Let's look at these. We got we got Ding Dong Van and we got VP Gas, and this one's very hard to find. Actually, the buddy found this for me. This was very difficult. Every time I'd see these VP Gas boxes, they'd be empty, or they'd have like 2 castings left in them, and this one, of course, is the first to go. This is a 7,000 piece. This is not just at Walmart or one place. They actually put these out as a wide release. I've seen these in a number of different stores. I just haven't found the square body. So we're going to take a look at this. This is kind of a hard to find one. And then we'll look at one more van before we leave. Forgot about those two. I knew I had more to look at. All right. Let's open this up. So they have the Hostess copyright. Look at this guy. I looked this guy up. This is a little bit before my time. I mean, obviously we had Dig Dogs. But this guy, well, his name's kind of crazy, but his name is King Dong. And there he is. He's very excited. He's got a lot of filling, and he's on the van. I saw this, and you know there is a brown cupcake square body in this set. Of course, everybody's looking for that. That was not to be seen. So, but I saw this guy, and he made me laugh pretty good. And then I looked up his name. I said, this guy probably has a name. They all had their own kind of mascot, like the Twinkie and the cherry cake one or the pie one. I thought this is a kind of and very period, so 50s and 60s. Hostess. They went bankrupt and then they got bought again. They were able to put Ding Dongs back on the market. Of course, it's your icing filled hockey puck cake, chocolate covered, good old stuff. But the graphics I thought were really cool. Look at the old Hostess livery. 1964 Ford Econoline. I do like the Ford Econolines. They seem to roll very nicely. They have such small wheels and tires that they always seem to go together without much issue. This probably would look good on Slam too, on that chassis. The old King Dong come out and give you some ding dongs. Look at this guy. He's very excited. So, nice graphic job. Very, very cool. Nostalgic. You know, you could just see one of these at the old-time convenience stores or delivering the ding-dongs in your little Ford Econoline. They probably needed a bigger truck. This guy might have been just out there servicing something. So, we've seen that before. Very funny graphics. I thought that was great. I think it'll look good with the other vans. I mean, you got cams and you got ding dongs. All right, one more before we go. I can't believe I forgot about these things. They're awesome. So I did look at this. This is 1975 Chevrolet Cheyenne Super 10, and we'll look at this pretty quickly. They used the wheels from the Square Body Syndicate truck, so these are cool wheels. So that's another reason that this is kind of a good one to have. The cupcake one, definitely want that. The Hostess cupcake one, it's really crazy looking. It's all brown. It's got dark wheels on it. I think that'll be funny too. This one's pretty neat though. It's got very thick paint on it. We'll take a look. Extremely thick. But it's got a great lower chassis. It's too bad these are so hard to come by, because if you had more chassis and wheels and tires to play with, I think this would be good for more customs. They're just so hard to find. I'm going to have to leave it alone. So VP Race Gas, their 45th anniversary, I think it is, 45 years. So I had this. I think there's a Camaro, and there's 6 different cars. This is a Chase too, so they think the Chase in the set is based off the truck. But they might all be Chases. You can get a Chase, I guess, on all of them. Camaro. I did like the Camaro. It's like a 71 or something like that, so I might get that just to go along with the truck. This would be good probably towing the Camaro on a trailer because they match. Paint is extremely thick, and matter of fact, it's so thick that on the front of the hood there's a big run. And it's so thick it makes the hood not sit correct. So, again, not using primer. They have to slap the paint on so thick for it to not ghost on the peaks of the casting. But kind of a cool truck. The brown interior is kind of off. It's not the right brown, but a lot of flashing in there too. But the truck is cool. I love the wheels. They do such a good job on wheels. Most of the time. Sometimes they're crooked real bad, but they just look good. The profile's nice. You can see through them. There's no flashing on them. Took Chevrolet off there. Cool casting. And this one, actually, believe it or not, just a regular motor. So it's all show, no go on this one. You can see that drip really makes that hood sit up. But, yeah, we've seen that before. Not as cool as the gray one, the black and gray one, but it is pretty neat. Now, the lifted ones are coming, so just keep your eye out for that, because they have their own lift kit, their own wheels and tires. It's going to look different from Auto World's lifted truck. So I'm excited to see that. Actually, from the pictures, from the pre-production photos, it looks pretty good. So hopefully that comes out soon. But, yeah. So we got our Ding Dong 2 in, and our VP Race Gas. With our little Silverado. If you want to know more about these castings, we've done them in earlier videos, and we talk about the vehicle themselves too in those. But we're just getting caught up on some new liveries. We got new green light stuff though, so we're gonna look at that. Like I was trying to wrap up a few minutes ago. And a 1/18 scale. I think we'll break it up. I did get a 1/18 scale in. I think we'll look at it and see what your thoughts are. They're kind of a love-hate vehicle, so it'll be interesting to go over that in due time. But yeah, so hope you all enjoyed it. And I think that is the end for the castings for today. And we'll get to more very soon. Hope everybody's having a good day today. And thanks for watching, all your subscription, all your wonderful comments. More to come, more to come. And if you want more content, just explore the channel. There's a lot of stuff there while you're waiting for the next video. Till next time.